Champions are not born. They're forged. This is about turning the ordinary into undisputed. Available now. Ade Oladipo, brought to you by Undisputed.
Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. We're 2 days away from the live, people. 2 days. So no turning back now. I can't believe how quick it's come, honestly. But I am excited. For those of you that can't make it, don't worry. I'm going to film everything. So it will be out on the YouTube channel either Friday or Saturday. I've got someone doing some social media stuff for me as well. So you'll see a lot of clips on Instagram and Twitter. For those of you that can make it, I look forward to seeing you. I really do. I think doors open. The show starts at 7 o'clock. I think I've been saying 7:30. Hopefully the tickets tell you the right time. So it's 7 o'clock start. I think doors open at 6 o'clock. Obviously you guys can mingle in the foyer area, get some drinks, some snacks. And then, yeah, showtime at 7. I have been let down by a couple of guests, which is disappointing. Things happen. So I might still rope in a couple more to fill the spaces. But ultimately, this is about you guys and me. This journey's always been about you and me. I haven't built this channel up by having guests and interviewing guests. It's been me doing this. So look, Gman will be there and maybe a couple more, and that's all I need. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you. So basically the show will end at 8:30 and they've made a space for us one level up where we can sort of mingle, chit chat. I'm going to bring out the green chair so you guys can take as many photos if you want with it. But yeah, look forward to it. There's a few people flying in, which is just insane. Honestly, it just blows my mind. It really does. And I don't mean that in like a, you guys are crazy thing. It blows my mind that we've come this far where people would want to fly in to have a conversation. Because that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a conversation. I'm probably going to have a drink on stage just to calm my nerves. But yeah, really looking forward to it. Again, we are 2 days away. Wow. Crazy. All right. Don't forget, this show is sponsored by Undisputed. The new takeover pack is available to download right now. The main man in that takeover pack is Mr. Takeover himself, Teofimo Lopez. Just go to playundisputed.com to download that. All right, let's have a look and see what there is to talk about today. Bill Haney unleashes epic rant in response to Eddie Hearn's claims. I think Eddie Hearn, I haven't watched the interview in full, but I saw clips of it. I think Eddie Hearn basically said that Bill and Devin are now just trying to fight for the biggest checks or try and find their route to the biggest checks, which I don't see as a bad thing. But I think he also said that maybe Devin hasn't recovered from that Ryan Garcia fight. All those things probably true, right? They are trying to find the biggest checks, as I think most people should be doing once you reach that top level in boxing. And we don't know if he has fully recovered from that Ryan Garcia fight. His last fight against Ramirez didn't show us much because there was no output. Look, I struggle to accept any Devin Haney slander. Like, I like Devin, I like Bill. I think Bill is a character who, like most characters, sometimes cross the line. But I think he's got his son's back fully. He protects his son. I think his son doesn't really need protecting. I think Devin's old and big enough to do it himself, but dads will be dads. But as for Devin, look, Devin fights the fights. Like, Devin's fighting Brian Norman. Devin's jumping up another weight class. Some might say he kind of did that with Ramirez, but this is now a full jump to 147 to take on the best 147 pounder. Now that Boots has left the division, I think most people say Brian Norman's number one. Whether or not he is, I don't know, right? I mean, we got Paddy Donovan versus Lewis Crocker. I mean, there could be an argument if Paddy wins that Paddy's number one, but right now, Brian Norman is number one and Devin's jumping up to fight him. And I look at Devin's CV and all these other guys in and around him are talking. Devin's fighting. Yes, he had that time out the ring after the Ryan Garcia fight. No problem with that. But yeah, I feel like the Devin Haney slander is crazy. Like, he fought someone in Ryan Garcia who we now know had PDs in the system. Whether he knew he had PDs in the system or he took it intentionally, that's a whole different discussion. But he fought someone who had PDs in his system. And I felt like in the aftermath of that fight, Devin's getting the stick. Like Ryan's just, walking around, just being Ryan, and Devin's getting the bullshit. Yeah, again, here we are. Devin's fighting November 22nd against, I think, the best welterweight in the world right now. So let's give Devin some respect, man. I can't give Devin slander. Trust me. There's been some fights where I thought, oh, he's lucky to win, like the Loma fight. But I look at his CV and I'm like, good fights. Good fights at 135, good fights at 140, and now he's about to have a good fight at 147. I don't know where the slander comes from. Joe Bugner, one of the greatest British heavyweights, dies at age 75. It's young, isn't it? 75 is young. Joe Bugner almost suffered from what Lennox Lewis suffered from early. Like when Lennox Lewis came through and although British, many wouldn't accept it. They accept it now. They wouldn't accept it then because of the accent. He's from Canada. He fought for Canada in the Olympics. I think Joe Bugner kind of suffered from that as well. He came over, I think, from Hungary at a young age. And Brits just didn't really accept him. Obviously, Henry Cooper was the British fighter, right? Henry Cooper, Sir Henry. And Joe Bugner maybe didn't get the love that he should have got. Let me tell you this now, and I've done my research on Joe years ago. There was a time in what I consider the best era of heavyweight boxing, so the 70s, which was just fully loaded, where Joe might have been a top 5, top 6 heavyweight in the world. In that era. Fought Muhammad Ali, fought Joe Frazier, fought them all, basically. I don't think he gets the credit. Like I was talking to Robert Smith, the General Secretary of the British Boxing Board of Control, because his dad used to manage Joe Bugner. And even he said, what did he say? He said, aside from Lennox, I think he said, he thinks that Joe Bugner might have been the second best British heavyweight of all time. So that's above Bruno, who he obviously lost to, but he was old at the time. That's above Fury. That's above AJ. That's above them all. That's how good Joe Bugner was. In his later life, obviously moved to Australia, had a bunch of fights in Australia. They called him Aussie Joe at the time. And then became an actor. He was in the movie Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme. So he did a lot in his life. But yeah, 75 feels very, very young. But hopefully, I mean, again, there are boxing events all up and down the country. Hopefully, sort of he gets his respect because what a great fighter. He was massive at the time. Massive. Nowadays, obviously, like he's now just a normal sized guy. 6'4", 6'5", 16 stone. Back then, they weren't that big. He was huge. Again, it's a shame that I feel like he isn't given as much respect as he should because he fought Murderers Row in the 70s. All right, let's talk about Max Kellerman, who is just the GOAT, isn't he? I mean, I love Max. I did the Crawford Madrimov presser. Max was there, and I was like, oh, what's Max doing here? That's when I kind of knew something was happening. Something was brewing. And I went up to him and said, look, dude, fucking love you. Like, I've grown up watching you. You're the guy. And I think I mentioned something like I was nervous on stage. I don't know why I did that, but I did it. And he said, no, you're great. He said, I've been watching you for a while. You're great. Your energy, you did it. And I was like, oh my God, that's it. Done. Retire. That being said, Max did an interview the other day, and he was speaking about pound for pound. Let me play the interview. I want to watch it back, and I'll give you my honest thoughts on it. Let's see if I can find it. Max was speaking about Crawford, Usyk, Canelo, etc. This is it. Let me play it.
Sky-high ring IQs. If I have to, Crawford. If you ask me again, like, there's a reason that I think Crawford's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
No, he isn't.
I think, and Canelo once was. So
he was.
Even though Crawford is biologically older, Canelo has had the longer career. He's been fighting since he's a teenager, and there's been signs recently that maybe he's not the same guy that he used to be. By the way, I know people think Inoue and Usyk are ahead of Crawford. The ring has them rated ahead of Crawford. I don't. Because to me, pound for pound is not a fairness issue. It's an issue of just who do you think is better. And the last time I saw Crawford, he moved up yet another division, beat at the time the guy I thought was the best fighter in the division.
No.
Turns out he wasn't, but I thought he was.
No one thought that.
And before that, had just annihilated Errol Spence. So if you look at all the boxes, I'm going to check Crawford for most of them, if not all of them.
No, not for me. Look, again, it's all subjective, isn't it? It's who you like. But you're going to have to do some real convincing to convince me, or some real selling, to convince me that Crawford is above Usyk. Like, I could make an argument that Inoue is above Crawford. Like, Usyk is so far clear as pound for pound number one. Like, you can argue amongst yourselves who's number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's no metric out there that will put Crawford above Usyk. By the way, we're talking 2 and 3, 1, 2, and 3 are the best fighters on planet Earth. So there's no slight here. There's no me trying to diss Crawford. I think Crawford's incredible. And I think if he was more active and if he was more busy, cool, maybe. But what Usyk is doing, and the thing about what Usyk is doing, by the way, when you're like there are naturally better skilled fighters in the lower weight classes, like heavyweights. You don't have to actually be that skilled. Just be big. Ultimately, if you're big and you're fucking nearly 20 stone and you throw your right hand, it could land, right? But the thing is, Usyk's actually beating skillful heavyweights. Like, Fury is a very, very skillful heavyweight. AJ is a very, very good heavyweight. Dubois is a very, very good heavyweight. So it's not like Usyk's beating Arslan Bekmambetov, who's a big guy, but ultimately not skilled, or fucking the giant Valuev, a big guy, but ultimately he's actually beating very, very skillful guys, very, very good guys. Like at the time of beating Fury must have been, I don't know if they have heavyweights, or if the Americans had Fury as a top 10, but Fury must have been a top 10 pound for pounder. Like, Fury really good. So, he's just not. And I'm surprised that Max would say he is, because, again, I look at Max as the GOAT. And even when he spoke about Crawford jumping up and beating what he thought was then the number 154 pounder in the world, no one ever thought Madrimov was the best 154 pounder. It's a solid win. Madrimov was a world champion, but no one ever said he's jumping up and fighting number 1. No one said that. No one said that. So look, as much as I love Crawford, as much as I love Max, like, Usyk is pound for pound number 1. And even if we just go by the pound for pound title, like poundage, Usyk is fighting these, again, very good guys, I think, and he's still giving away, like, I don't even know. Let me see. I don't even know how much he gave away in fighting Tyson Fury. Let me see if I can quickly find the weights again. Tell me I'm logged in. Yes, I am. Okay. So when he fought Fury, he was 223 pounds. Fury was 262. Yeah. That was the first time. So he's given away 40 pounds. So he's fighting someone that's as skillful and giving away 40 pounds. The second time he fought Tyson Fury, Usyk was 222. Fury was 281. He's given away 60 pounds. Again, he's not giving away 60 pounds against a Valuev who can't move, feet are slow, rubbish, unskilled. He's given away 60 pounds against someone who is so skillful. Like, Fury is such a skillful heavyweight. And then when he fights the likes of AJ and Dubois, he's giving away 20 pounds, 40 pounds, whatever it is. This guy's giving away pounds, like serious pounds, to really, really good guys. Look, you know what? I think I tweeted this the other day. If Crawford were to beat Canelo, okay, let's have that discussion. And it's a legit discussion. If he were to stop Canelo, someone that's never been stopped, then okay, 1 second. Let's have a real discussion. But right now, sorry, Max, there's no way that you can say Crawford is pound for pound number 1 over Alexander Usyk. Sometimes I do feel like, and I get a lot of critique sometimes for pushing back on this, but I do feel like Americans maybe don't give their respect to European fighters as much as they should. I do sometimes feel that way. Just my take on it. But yeah, look, Usyk is clear number 1. And also, I mean, Usyk hasn't been super busy himself, but he's been a lot busier than Crawford. Crawford's only giving you 1 fight a year. Like, come on, man. Again, I can make an argument to say Inoue, who might not be fighting the top guys in the division, or the fights we want to see, although that's coming up next. Inoue is giving you 2-3 fights a year. Has to count for something. All right, Moses Itama bumped up to number 1 by the WBA. Okay. He might fight for a title. There is a good chance Alexander Usyk, who we've just been speaking about, vacates. There is a very good chance. So we'll look at the rankings. He's number 1, by the way, because it's all over the place. All right, so we've got Alexander Usyk, obviously, as the champion. Kubrat Pulev is Alexander Usyk's the super champion. I hate all this shit. Kubrat Pulev is the champion. Fabio Wardley is interim champion. Remember what I was saying the other day, and a few of you kind of pushed back on me, where I said Fabio Wardley and Moses Italma in the same gym is a bit of an issue. That's why. They've just said now Italma is ranked number 1 and Fabio Wardley is interim. If Usyk vacates, who do you think should be fighting for that title? The interim champion versus the number 1? I mean, sure, see what I'm getting at? It's a bit of a problem, I think. Italma is number 1. Michael Hunter is number 2. Bukoli is number 4. Hrgovic and number 5. Who else we got in terms of names? Dave Allen's ranked number 8. I hate all this stuff. This is when I just want there to be one belt. Like, one belt would just be so much clearer as to who is top dog in a division, or at least we know top dog is who, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Yeah. All right, let's see if there's anything else. Arnold Barboza Jr. offered Jack Catterall a rematch, but they didn't want to fight. There's no point in that fight. Quite boring, actually, that fight. I'm hearing a lot about Jack Catterall versus Echo Usman, undercard Ben Eubank. That's kind of the word on the street at the moment. Wouldn't mind that. Good fight for Echo Usman, that. Very good fight. Like, winnable fight. In fact, I'd go as far as maybe saying Echo might be favourite in that fight. He's the natural 147 guy. And I think we saw it, how he dismantled Josh Taylor. Like, dismantled him, didn't he, late? Like, he just seemed to be able to put his foot to the pedal when Josh couldn't keep up. All right. I think that is it. Yeah. All right, guys, girls, we are done. See you Thursday.
Champions are not born. They're forged. This is about turning the ordinary into undisputed. Available now.
Ade Oladipo, brought to you by Undisputed.